You're watching WNBC for New York. And now, Sue Simmons, Matt Lauer, Al Roker, and Len Berman. This is News for New York, live at 5.
And good evening, everyone. Sue's off today. Jane Hanson joins us. And a Los Angeles jury announces partial verdicts at the Reginald Denny beating trial.
But the judge tells them to keep trying on one of the most serious charges.
The two defendants have some cause for relief today when the jury decisions were announced. Not guilty on most of the felony charges in the beating of truck driver Denny and other victims at the beginning of the 1992 Los Angeles riots. The Denny attack, like the Rodney King police beating, which eventually led to the riots, had been captured on videotape. However, the jury only convicted the defendants of misdemeanors. They deadlocked on one attempted murder charge and will continue deliberating. Denny himself testified he couldn't remember much of the attack. And right now we go live to Carla Aragon in Los Angeles.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Damian Monroe Williams, not guilty of the crime of aggravated mayhem.
Defendants Damian Williams and Henry Kiki Watson had a lot to lose. Life in prison if convicted of the most serious crimes. But the partial verdicts announced this morning meant, for the most part, a victory for both.
Well, I think the verdicts are stunning. Not totally unexpected, but stunning. Perhaps as stunning as the original Simi Valley verdicts, except that this jury has more credibility than that jury. This jury is made up of people from this community, and so I think that we can accept this particular verdict. I talked to Mr. Denny last night, and he said that he would accept whatever counts they found, guilty or not guilty, and he would urge the citizens of this city to get on with their lives.
These are the pictures that caused such angst at the flashpoint of the LA riots. The jurors saw these pictures and had to decide if Damian Williams and Henry Watson intended to murder trucker Reginald Denny, and if they intended to do great bodily harm to several others. For the most part, the jury today said it could not find intent. But Williams and Watson were found guilty of lesser charges of simple assault. Victim Reginald Denny testified during the trial, at one point hugging Williams' mother. Today, through an attorney, he expressed the same reconciliation.
I talked to Mr. Denny last night, and he said that he would accept whatever counts they found, guilty or not guilty, and he would urge the citizens of this city to get on with their lives. He has put this matter behind him. He's engaged in healing, and he wants the rest of us to do that and try to get along.
This is what it looks like today, the corner of Florence and Normandy. People going about their business, a few police cars passing through. With the majority of the verdicts already announced, most people in the City of Angels feel a sense of relief.
We seem to have had law and not just order.
That was Carla Aragon reporting from Los Angeles. Tonight, police in Louisville, Kentucky say a suspect in a fatal shooting attack at Fort Knox has shot and critically wounded himself. They say he left 3 people dead, 2 others critically wounded. The shooting took place at a training support center office at Fort Knox Army Base, about 40 miles southwest of Louisville. The base houses the U.S. gold bullion reserves. The gunman walked into an office at about 10:15 and shot the 5 civilians. Authorities don't know the motive, but the suspect is said to have been an outpatient at the Louisville VA hospital.
Employees, 1 male and 2 female, are being withheld pending notification of next of kin. The injured civilians, Roger Saltzman and Judy Nemec, were sent by military medical helicopter to Humana University Hospital in Louisville, Kentucky.
And police say the suspect later went into a hospital bathroom at the Veterans Affairs Medical Center and shot himself.
Shots were fired in Somalia today for the first time in some 9 days. A UN military spokeswoman says American troops reportedly shot at 10 armed Somalis who were advancing on their position. She said, though, that no one was hurt. This was one of 4 apparent attempts by Somalis to attack UN personnel or facilities in the past week. And surgery for Army pilot Michael Durant has been postponed. Durant was injured and captured when his helicopter crashed in Somalia. Doctors say he has a low-grade fever, so they will wait until Wednesday to place a pin in his broken leg. They also say he should be back in the cockpit in about a year.
The U.S. challenge to Haiti's military leaders becomes more than just a symbolic show of force at midnight tonight. At that time, the 6 U.S. warships surrounding Haiti will begin enforcing a United Nations oil embargo. President Clinton imposed additional sanctions today to force Haiti's military strongmen to step down. However, Congress is wary of letting the president send U.S. ground forces there. Steve Handelsman is live in Washington, and he has more. Steve?
Hi, Matt. Wary is right. So far, 1,400 miles from here at the White House, Haiti's ruling generals seem to be resisting the pressure of the UN deadline, but back here in Washington, some in the U.S. Senate are clearly nervous. As the deadline approaches, 650 U.S. Marines are ready. They're at the U.S. base in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba tonight. With them are heavy-lift helicopters like these from the Gulf War that could get the Marines to Haiti in a hurry and evacuate endangered Americans. President Clinton says the troops are a backup in case of trouble. But a key critic today wants to be sure.
But a lot of American
Senate Republican leader Robert Dole is pushing a proposal to force Clinton to come to Congress for an okay before he sends U.S. troops to Haiti. The president negotiated privately with Dole and attacked his plan on radio.
In Haiti, my concerns are that there should be no restrictions that would undermine the ability of the president to protect the Americans on Haiti.
At the same time, the Senate debated another plan to restrict U.S. troops being part of a UN force.
The president's going to have to say, we are in the process of putting U.S. combat troops under foreign command, and he'd have to seek congressional approval.
Meanwhile, today in the warm seas off Haiti, 6 U.S. warships are on patrol to enforce the UN embargo. After midnight, Navy crews are cleared to stop and search ships headed to Haiti to look for arms and oil. But already this afternoon, the U.S. ships have moved within sight of Haiti, a message from President Clinton to Haiti's generals. Ashore on Haiti, it's quiet. Schools and shops closed today as the deadline approaches. Army strongman Raul Cedras put a spokesman on local radio to tell Haitians not to fear violence. Tonight, to put more pressure on Haiti's generals, President Clinton is hitting them in the pocketbook, signing an order here at the White House freezing their U.S. bank accounts. I'm Steve Handelsman, News 4, live from the White House. Back to you.
Steve, there are still 1,000 Americans on Haiti. Besides the show of farce in the waters, what are they doing to protect those people today?
Nothing so far as I know, Matt. They don't want to provoke anything. I think the warning is, and it should be getting there to Haiti loud and clear, that if anything happens to Americans in Port-au-Prince or anywhere else in Haiti, those Marines are just an hour or less away on Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and they'll be coming.
All right, Steve.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve. A judge ruled late today that Oklahoma must return a death row inmate to New York to serve a prison term before he can be put to death. Just hours before Thomas Grasso was to die by lethal injection in Oklahoma, a judge intervened, saying the convict must be sent to New York to serve his 20 years to life sentence. Grasso was convicted of killing an elderly person in Oklahoma and on Staten Island. Grasso has said he'd rather be put to death than serve out his sentence in New York. Governor Cuomo, who opposes the death penalty, says the fight is not about capital punishment, but about enforcing interstate agreements.
We told you last week about a couple in Englewood, New Jersey, charged with keeping their adopted children locked in their attic. Today, those parents are claiming they're the victims of a huge and terrible lie. New Jersey reporter Ben Farnsworth has details.
Oh, people are shocked. You know, because it's a pretty nice neighborhood. People look out for each other, but they don't, like, you know, pry into people's business.
Neighbors of Anthony and Shirley James were shocked to find the couple the focus of an investigation. Stunned by the charges that the Jameses, over a 3-year period, allegedly kept 4 of their adopted children locked in the attic of this home, allegedly fed them sparingly while collecting $2,000 a month in subsidy assistance from New York City. The 2 boys and 2 girls from ages 10 to 16 have been removed from the home after the boys accused their father of beating them. 2 of the children were questioned by police after a shoplifting complaint at a local supermarket and told authorities they were in the store because they were hungry. Police who went to the home found the 2 other children locked in a pitch-dark attic. A 10-year-old boy was wearing a diaper.
The Jameses' attorney said that one of the children who was removed from the home was supposed to babysit that night, and that it was she, the attorney said, who locked the 2 children in the attic and then went to the supermarket. When the children were questioned by police, the family says, they lied. The father has said that he loves the children and would never lock them in the attic. The mother is reportedly ill and wants the children returned to her home as soon as possible. Meanwhile, the neighbors say they have seen few signs of abuse.
Most of the kids their age would all go to school, and they'd all be waiting for the school bus. And you never saw them waiting for the school bus.
The city's Human Resources Administration said that adoptive parents undergo intensive pre-screening. The subsidies are incentives for hard-to-place children and are paid until the child reaches age 18. After that, there is no further monitoring required. It's a story that affects a lot of parents in the neighborhood.
I have kids, and if it's true, that's very bad. It's not nice.
Ben Farnsworth, News 4, Englewood.
We will take a break, but still ahead, drugs and guns are a part of school life these days. Still ahead on Live at 5, some students take a vow of self-defense. Then, is roughhousing good for your kids? Dr. Georgia Whitkin talks to parents, and she'll have the answer a little later on.
She has starred in such films as Adventures in Babysitting and Cocktail. Actress Elizabeth Shue joins us in the studio. And he is back at it again. Shock jock Howard Stern has another book signing, but does it create the same chaos as last week's mayhem? We'll tell you about that. And Al, he's enjoying this nice weather on the ice.
That's right, Jane. Temperatures in the 70s today. They opened the Rockefeller Center ice skating rink. We'll have that story for you. We'll tell you about the weather and introduce you to some of Broadway's smallest stars on ice when Live at 5 continues.
Tonight, when the Fresh Prince throws a wild party, Uncle Phil does what he knows best.
Philip Banks versus Will Smith.
Will may not have a law degree.
But what I do have is the truth.
An all-new Fresh Prince. Then Six runs away with Sonny.
Really?
One problem, the cops collar him for kidnapping.
Whoa.
All new Fresh Prince blossoms
Tonight.
A young girl stalked by a madman. One mother will do what it takes to stop him.
My daughter has the right to a normal life.
A Moment of Truth movie, Stalking Back, NBC tonight.
A champion, we have the best trained employees and loan officers in the business. They'll put you at ease and take the time to walk you through the second mortgage process step by step. And they'll show you how to replace those high-interest credit card debts and other bills with one low monthly payment. And they'll show you how a home equity loan from Champion can save you hundreds of dollars a month. Just call 1-800-CHAMPION and let them show you the kind of respect and concern you deserve. When your bank says no, Champion says yes.
Coming up on News 4 New York at 6. When cops stop drunk drivers, their licenses are suspended and they don't drive, right? Wrong. News 4 discovered that some convicted drunk drivers are driving to meet their parole officers. Coming up at 6.
Should your name be on this envelope? It should if you're age 50 or over and thought it would be difficult to get valuable whole life insurance. This plan guarantees your acceptance because of a 2-year limited benefit period. Benefits won't decrease because you grow older. Premiums won't increase. It costs just $6.95 a month per unit. To find out more, call now.
Call 1-800-332-5300 and receive this free gift. 1-800-332-5300.
America's Paint Store. From color matching to custom paints, America's Paint Store, Home Depot, where you'll find our premium quality interior paint, Behr Premium Plus. With Behr Premium Plus, colors are much brighter and cleaner than ordinary paint. That's because Behr is made with pure, clean titanium. And Behr Premium Plus interior paint is so durable, it will stand up to thousands of scrubs. Behr Premium Plus, exclusively at Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson was back in New York today, urging teenagers to give up their guns. His audience included one young man who knows all too well why Jackson's campaign is so crucial. News 4's Jim Paymar reports.
A tragic reality. To enter many New York City schools, belongings go through metal detectors and bodies are scanned for guns. Outside, police officers stand by because so many kids are armed and dangerous.
He, was like 5 feet away from me and shot me with a gun. Then he ran.
David Graham was just 15 when he went to help a woman being robbed by a 14-year-old.
So he said, well, since you wanted to be in my business, so he said, you gotta die, and shot me.
The bullet ripped through David's chest, lodging in his spine. Now he's wheelchair-bound for life.
You live life day by day. That's how I do it now, because you can wake up in the morning, get killed to your own bed, you know what I'm saying? Go to the store, get killed.
David was in the audience today at Martin Luther King High to hear Jesse Jackson press his campaign to stop the violence that almost claimed his life.
You who are the victims must stop the violence to save yourselves.
Jackson said homicide has claimed the lives of 362 African Americans under the age of 21 in New York City so far this year. To make his point,
you know someone at your school who has brought a gun to school, please stand.
Hundreds of kids heeded Jackson's call to sign a pledge not to remain silent about guns. Not everyone, though, bought the message. Did you sign the pledge?
No.
How come?
How come? I don't feel like getting out.
I don't believe in it. You don't believe in it? Why not?
I believe in it.
I don't snitch.
That's why we can't get unity now, because people have the mentality like that, and they have to feel like, well, they ain't do nothing for me, why should I do something for them?
Reverend Jackson says the Stop the Violence campaign is the next stage in the civil rights movement because he says if kids can't walk down the street and go to school or go to church without fearing that they'll be shot, it really doesn't matter that they have civil rights at all. Jim Paymar, News 4, New York.
In other news, a leading bank, Morgan Guaranty Trust, cut its prime interest rate today to the lowest level in more than 20 years. Morgan cut its rate to 5.5%, and Harris Trust and Savings of Chicago followed suit. The prime rate at most other banks remains at 6%. Now, banks apply the prime rate figure to some business and consumer loans. It's not widely used for setting mortgage rates.
Well, coming up, we're going to find out if the third time is the charm for the Space Shuttle Columbia. The astronauts blast off on an historic mission.
And autumn is on ice. Skaters take to the rink as the temperatures rise. Al will have a live report coming up next. Stay with us.
Check this out. Bally's is offering our pay-as-you-go program at the low enrollment fee of $49 for an alternate day plan. Once you join, pay only $15 a month for as long as you want. No outrageous membership fees, no long-term commitments. Just $15 a month for aerobics, swimming, jogging, and the most advanced equipment available, like our 30-minute workout program. Join Bally's pay-as-you-go program now. An offer like this won't last forever. Call 1-800-WORKOUT.
My baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Yeah, I love to eat it every day, and if you ask me why, I'll say...
You could give your kids a bologna made from less than 100% pure beef or one with fillers. The question is, why would you?
'Cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer for The Money Store. Even if your credit is less than perfect, you can still refinance your first mortgage at today's low fixed rates. That's because The Money Store looks at your total credit picture and won't automatically disqualify you for late payments. At The Money Store, you can apply by phone and there's no application fee. So if you want to refinance at today's low rates, even if your credit isn't perfect, call 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Those who expect more from a credit card must not settle for less. First, eliminate cards charging the highest rates or not offering fixed or variable rate options. Demand worldwide acceptance, 24-hour customer service, and gold card benefits. And insist upon price assurance, purchase protection, extended warranties, and satisfaction guarantee. So what remains? The Grand Elite Visa Gold Card from Chemical Bank. If you possess one, do use it. If not, call 1-800-342-9900 to apply.
If you've been thinking about playing the market this year, you'll want to take advantage of the stock sale now at your Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can save up to $1,750 on Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo V8 or invest in a sophisticated Eagle Vision. Get a great return on Jeep Cherokee Sport with air at no charge, or close on a legendary Jeep Wrangler. But don't delay. With deals like these, there's sure to be a run on our stock.
Well, after 2 delays in less than a week, the shuttle Columbia finally lifted off this morning. The entire 2-week mission will be devoted to medical research. The crew of 7 astronauts will dissect rats and run tests on each other. We hope they don't mix that up. It'll help to plan for longer missions in the future. 2 previous launch attempts were scratched due to technical problems, and if all goes planned, this will be the longest shuttle mission ever.
Wasn't it the most incredibly beautiful day out there today?
Spring-like, not autumnal.
No, and it doesn't seem at all like the kind of day you'd think about ice skating, but that's exactly what Al Roker is doing. Hi, Al.
Hey, Jane, Matt, how you doing? You're going to have to strap on the blades. Come on down here. They opened up the rink about 2 weeks early, but it is a gorgeous day for it. With me here is our favorite ice skater in New York City, Ms. JoJo Starbuck. How you doing, JoJo?
Al, we've had a fabulous spring day down here at the rink at Rockefeller Center. We opened with the cast of the off-Broadway show Annie Warbucks and a lot of world champion skaters. We had a great day.
Now, what did the girls do today?
Well, actually, these are the orphans from the cast of Annie Warbucks, and this is Annie, and Sarah Hughes from Long Island performed to their live singing performance. It was fabulous, and we're doing it again at 7 p.m.
So folks can come down around and take a look around?
Absolutely, and come skating afterwards with all of us.
All right, Catherine, what's it like being in Annie Warbucks?
It's exciting because one thing, we get to go everywhere and we get to perform, and all the orphans get to come with us, and right now we got to ice skate and it's so much fun.
And Sarah, what was it like with you with all the gals skating around you?
It's very nice.
Yeah. Do you want to be like JoJo Starbuck when you grow up?
Yeah. Really, I do.
Yeah, really, huh? Okay, well listen, you guys are going to do a little skating for us?
That's right.
All right. Little circle for us, and then we're gonna start off the weather stuff here for you. What a great day. I mean, it has been fabulous. Hard to believe that we got the ice skating rink open. Here, let's take a look while we put the current conditions up, and you can see the girls and JoJo skating out there. What a great day. I'll tell you, check out the statistics for you. Right now, believe it or not, 67 degrees, sunny skies. Winds are out of the northwest at 12, relative humidity 32%, barometer 29.97 and rising. Our high for the day, 72 degrees, the low 58, your sunrise and sunset right there for you. Okay, let's take a look, show you the satellite picture. And we've got a little system bubbling up from the south that's going to start overrunning the nice dry air that we have. Look for some thickening clouds coming on in tomorrow, but tonight is going to be a gorgeous night. In fact, you might want to head on down to the Variety Arts Theater and buy some tickets for that Annie Warbucks. Yes, sir. Then I got my plug-in for them. Okay, we're happy. Now, we do have some clouds working their way in. We could use the rain, that's for sure, but that's not going to happen until Wednesday. Look at the reservoirs. Normally should be a little under 72%. Today, a little more than 48%. So we are in big trouble reservoir-wise. Now, as far as your forecast tonight, clear skies as high pressure moves away. Mid-30s to upper 30s north and west. Mid to upper 40s along the coastal sections here in town. For tomorrow morning, look for partly sunny skies with temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s in the north and west. Coastal areas upper 40s to the low 50s, and then during the day tomorrow, thickening clouds upper 50s to the low 60s. So just a great day to be here at the ice skating rink at Rockefeller Center now that it's opened up. We'll have the 5-day forecast for you a little bit later, but we do have something a little extra for you today. On this date, it was somebody's special birthday.
Standing over by the record machine, looking like a model on the cover of a magazine.
It is Chuck Berry's birthday. How old is he? Take a look at that. Is he 63, 65, or 67 years old today? We will find out and tell you what Chuck's birthday age is when we come back a little bit later.
Now, am I allowed to participate in this?
Yes, you are, Matt. What's your guess?
Actually, I think the numbers you had up there were 63, 67, and 69.
That's what I meant. Yes.
Okay, fine.
We heard you right.
I'm not going to give it away anyway.
Well, what do you think?
Well, what do you think?
I think 67.
Jane?
I say 69.
Okay, well, we'll find out a little bit later.
Hey, Al, do you have any skates on?
No, the rink has not been load tested, so I can't put them on yet.
All right, I will see you in a few minutes.
Thanks.
Next up, she starred in the film The Marrying Man. Now Elizabeth Shue is in town to look for her very own wedding dress. We'll talk to her about that in just a moment.
And a blood shortage could mean the difference between life and death for some minorities. We are going to tell you what's being done to help.
Red Lobster introduces its big combo. 4 incredible seafood tastes, just $8.99. But if that's not enough, there's Red Lobster's bigger combo. 5 kinds of delicious seafood. And if you're really hungry, make room for Red Lobster's biggest combo. Just try to devour 6 different kinds of tempting seafood. Red Lobster's bigger, biggest combos, starting at $8.99. Try one if you dare.
What is radial keratotomy, or RK? The cornea of the nearsighted person has too much curvature. This excessive curvature prevents a properly focused image. The result is blurry vision. RK, through a series of microscopic incisions, reduces the curvature of the cornea, enabling it to create a clearer image. So if you're tired of the hassles of glasses and contacts, RK may be able to help you. For more information on RK and to reach the nearest member, call Metropolitan Eye Associates at 1-800-200-EYES.
Even though the Honda Accord has been one of the best-selling cars in America.
Coming up on News 4 New York at 6.
I'm Carol Jenkins. State-run juvenile homes are supposed to help troubled young people, but one resident says he was compelled to have sex with counselors in exchange for favors, and now the school is taking action. You can only see this story on News 4 at 6. And look at this. Convicted drunk drivers are caught on tape, suspected of driving to see their parole officers. This stunt from a popular new movie is being repeated by kids in real life with very serious consequences. We'll tell you about one case in our area when Chuck and I see you at 6.
Don't miss the spectacular grand opening of the first Nobody Beats the Wiz Superstore in Connecticut, Thursday, October 21st at 330 Connecticut Avenue in Norwalk. 50,000 square feet of all the things that define state-of-the-art in home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more. Prices have been slashed in every department in every Nobody Beats the Wiz store. Connecticut, you'll never again have to say, we want our Nobody Beats the Wiz, because Thursday, October 21st, you get it. Nobody beats the Wiz.
It seems everywhere we go these days, cable is right there with us.
Good evening. Another night, another week of Larry King live from Washington.
You want to investigate me, roll the dice. On MTV.
Ron Shear, host of USA Up All Night.
To make sure cable is a part of your life, call 1-800-OK-CABLE, because the world of cable television is the world itself. Be amazed by the world's largest, lushest rainforest, only on the Discovery Channel.
Mount Sinai Hospital is under fire tonight for reportedly maintaining separate and unequal maternity wards, one for rich mothers, one for poor. A report published in today's Daily News said Medicaid recipients, mostly minority patients, routinely stay on the 4th floor of the hospital. Private, mostly white patients stay on the 5th. The article says rooms on both floors cost $1,000 a day, but 4th floor conditions are much worse and there is less education for new mothers. The hospital admits having 2 maternity wards, but says everyone gets the same level of service.
Well, there is one important way that members of racial or ethnic minority groups can help each other with medical emergencies, and that is by donating blood. News 4's Don Williams tells us why there are often blood shortages in minority neighborhoods and what's being done about it.
It's a lot. It's a lot of pain. It's a lot of pain, just mental pain.
DeLon Wilson lives day to day. As she sits and talks with us, she gets ready to have a massive blood transfusion.
Yes,
if she doesn't get it, she could die. She has what doctors call aplastic anemia, a blood disorder that makes her immune system useless.
The situation can be corrected by a bone marrow transplant. And unfortunately, my family and I have not been, we don't match at all.
Tonight at Alice Tully Hall at Lincoln Center, at a concert of the Boys Choir of Harlem, Wilson will tell her story. She will make a plea to African Americans and Latino Americans to give blood, to register with the bone marrow donor program.
As patients, it's thousands and thousands of us, from a baby to an elderly person. So we do need people to really come together on this. It's absolutely important.
Since African Americans and other ethnic groups donate less often than whites, you have a problem in finding the right match for the right patient.
Just relax, don't hold anything.
It is critical because regular blood drives seldom reach into the black and Latino communities. Why is it so difficult?
Well, I think a lot of the special blood needs that are now part of the state-of-the-art today, where you need to closely match people genetically, that's really fairly new. It's only the last 5 or 10 years that we really understood that that's the way to do it. A lot of the rare blood types that are found only among people of African descent are newly discovered.
All DeLon Wilson wants is a little time. But in order for that to happen, someone who is her perfect match will have to take the time to sign up with the bone marrow registrar. And it's really selfish when you think about it, because none of us knows when we might need help. And the more people who are signed up, the greater likelihood that a life will be saved. Don Williams, News 4, New York.
And we have this important note. If you'd like to donate blood, we have a phone number we'd love you to call. You can pick up your phone and call the New York Blood Center at area code 212-468-2001. That's 212-468-2001.
We're going to take a break now, but imagine this. A man helping his ex-wife find a new husband. Well, that is the plot in the new Matt Dillon movie, William Hurt movie. It's called Mr. Wonderful. Pia will have our review.
And you know what? We have a film star of our very own right here in the studio. You can meet Elizabeth Shue from The Karate Kid and Back to the Future 2 in just a minute. She's a new film. She'll talk about that as well. Stay with us.
I know.
Experience the power of femininity. Oscar de la Renta.
This elegant bag with eau de toilette spray, Activate hand treatment cream, body bath, and dusting powder is your gift with any $40 Oscar de la Renta fragrance purchase. Now at A&S.
Sometime next week, I promise. I could really use a vacation.
Come and discover the continent of Puerto Rico. Discover the warmth of our tropical beaches, the wonders of our natural beauty, the legends of our centuries-old cities, and the challenges of everything you've ever wanted to do. Only a continent could offer so many great vacation experiences. Only Puerto Rico puts it all within your reach.
Coming home, coming back to the things that comfort you when nothing else will do. Stover, nothing comes closer to home.
Well, you just cannot believe everything you hear. The new movie, Mr. Wonderful, is not about my co-anchor. I guess they're still trying to figure out who should star in it. But Pia is here to tell us about the real plot.
Well, this is sort of an offbeat premise for a romantic comedy, The Pain of Alimony. Not something a lot of people laugh about. Matt Dillon plays a fellow going into debt for his monthly payments who comes up with an inventive solution.
I could find you the perfect guy. You should let me. Please. No, I'm serious.
Matt Dillon is Gus, an electrical worker in New York who tries to get out of his alimony payments by finding Annabella Sciorra as his ex-wife, Lee, a new husband.
Please, somebody explain to me how I get in a situation where my ex-husband is finding me dates. I mean, I get into your grip, and suddenly I'm like...
So why'd you call?
What?
Why'd you call?
Because you gave this gorilla my telephone number.
Look, this is my point.
Mr. Wonderful is about the power of alimony to change the course of a man's life. Mary Louise Parker plays Gus's new girlfriend, a nurse to whom Gus has trouble making a commitment.
Can you say this word? Commitment.
Nah, which way is speech therapy? Hey, I'm only kidding.
Both Matt Dillon and Annabella Sciorra give satisfactory performances, but the only special thing about the movie is William Hurt, who gives an unexpectedly sly performance as a married professor having an affair with Lee.
Tom is my professor.
Yeah. God is my father. So, don't Gus me, okay?
Well, William Hurt shows how much shading a small role can be given. The movie has a cute premise, but aside from William Hurt, who I would have liked to see more of, I could take or leave Mr. Wonderful. This is one to see if you have absolutely nothing else to do. On a scale of 4, Mr. Wonderful rings 2 bells.
Great endorsement, but I like William Hurt, too. I think
like
he's
William
pretty
Hurt.
sexy in a movie.
And he was very different in this. It's just an unusual role for him.
Okay, thanks, Pia. Now to our own Mr. Wonderful, Matt.
Yeah. What a stretch. Okay, thank you, Jane. Our guest today is actress Elizabeth Shue, who's probably best known to movie fans from The Karate Kid, Back to the Future Part 2, and Soap Dish. Well, Elizabeth is about to hit the screen again in $20. It'll cost you $7 to see her come Friday, but she's here for free today. And before we talk to Elizabeth, here's a clip from the film $20.
Hey, will you come over?
Sounds like some date. Kind of whiny in this one. Elizabeth Shue, good to see you. Welcome to Live at 5.
Thanks.
$20. I like the premise of this movie. Can you explain it in a nutshell for people?
Well, it's about a $20 bill, but it's also about the characters that this $20 bill brings together. It's the thread that brings all these really interesting, really cool characters together. And it's really great.
This is the movie that if you've ever gotten, and folks at home, if you ever grabbed a bill like a 20 and gets in your hand and it's crumpled and it's dirty and it's disgusting, and you ever held it and thought, I wonder who else has had this in the past 10 years. This is the movie that kind of explains all that.
Yeah, when your parents said, don't put that in your mouth.
Yeah, right.
You don't know where that's
been. We did anyway. You play a young writer in this who's in a little bit of trouble, as you can see in this. Explain how the $20 bill affects the writer's life.
Well, I'm struggling against the wishes of my father to be a writer, and my father wants me to be anything that would make me money. And so for me, I think money is what gets in the way of my dreams. Whereas another character in the film, Linda Hunt, she plays a homeless woman. She's incredible in this movie. That $20 bill is hopefully the beginning of an entire life. I mean, so that's also another part of the movie, is how everybody relates to money in their life.
And we should mention this one opens on Friday. Let's talk about money, because your career right now, you're the type who is working a lot. Maybe not one of the top 3 leading ladies in Hollywood, but you work a lot. Were you surprised at that? The press clip said top 3 leading ladies.
I thought I was.
Are you satisfied with the way things are going?
Well, I mean, who could ever be satisfied? I feel very fortunate to be where I am, but I think women in this business are never satisfied because there are very few roles for us that are complex and that warrant our talent.
A lot of people might be thinking, Elizabeth Shue, and the younger members of our audience might be saying, wait a second, Andrew Shue is your brother. He stars in Melrose Place, which is a hot show on television. Growing up, I mean, I would have liked to be the parking lot attendant out in front of your house. You must have been the 2 most popular kids in the neighborhood.
He was.
Was he really?
He was, yeah. He was always very popular, with women especially.
Because he's known, I don't watch Melrose Place, but the people in the office, especially, are telling me he is quite the heartthrob.
Yeah.
Did you have to keep the ladies in line when he was growing up?
No, he did that on his own. But he was always kind of a star in a lot of ways. He played soccer. He was a great soccer player. And I was more shy, a little more introverted than he was.
Didn't date a lot?
Yeah, I did. I had my share.
And we should tell
and
people.
I'm getting married.
Yeah, do you hold the ring still? I mean, there you go.
Yeah,
maybe we might be able to get a shot of it. Congratulations. When are you getting married?
June.
And you're marrying who?
A guy.
A guy? Well, good. It's a good start. Do you have a name?
Yeah, his name's Davis Guggenheim.
And can you just give me, because I love this, how did Davis propose to you?
Oh, it's such a long story, but...
Give me the actual asking part.
He pretended to sprain his ankle, and he hid the ring in an ace bandage. And I was trying to get the ace bandage to wrap it around his ankle because I thought it was sprained, and out came the ring.
That's
so
very
really,
romantic.
Yeah.
He sounds great.
Yeah, he is.
You're in town. You're also shopping for a wedding gown? Can you give us a hint on that one? Well, I mean, seriously, what is in fashion today? Are we still doing the long trains and stuff like that?
No, I think I'll probably have a short train. Relatively simple, off-white.
Big wedding?
100, maybe, around there.
Family driving you crazy about this?
Not yet. They will. I'm prepared.
It happens.
I
As soon as the
know.
invitations start coming back, they have a license to start driving you nuts.
They've been waiting their whole life. I'm the only girl in my family, so this is it for them.
Now, have you instructed Andrew that he's not allowed to bring a beautiful lady to the wedding?
No.
No, you have to do that.
I do?
Yeah, because the
I don't
bride
wanna
is
be
always the
upstaged.
most beautiful person at the wedding.
That's okay. I can handle it.
The movie is called 20 Bucks. It opens Friday. And we should also mention one thing. You're going to be on Conan O'Brien tonight, and you just got done telling me you think he's sexy.
Yeah. He's not bad.
Now you'll have a great interview. Elizabeth Shue, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, Jane, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Still to come, the self-proclaimed king of all media does it again. But did the Sternlock tie up Wall Street the way his book signing did last week in Midtown? Also, for parents, when is roughhousing too rough? Dr. Georgia Whitkin shows you where to draw the line with your child. That's coming up next. Stay with us.
I love paying half price.
It's half price time at ShopRite.
ShopRite's half price sale saves me so much money.
Half price?
Half price? Half price. I like that.
Top round for London broil, half price, $1.99 a pound. Borden's ice cream, half price, $1.59. Purex, half price, $1.49. And save $4 for Walt Disney's World on Ice Aladdin with ShopRite's discount coupon.
We save you money. ShopRite does it right.
Tonight, when the Fresh Prince throws a wild party, Uncle Phil does what he knows best.
Philip Banks versus Will Smith.
Will may not have a law degree.
But what I do have is the truth.
An all-new Fresh Prince. Then Six runs away with Sonny.
Really?
One problem, the cops collar him for kidnapping.
Whoa.
All-new Fresh Prince blossoms.
Tonight.
A young girl stalked by a madman. One mother will do what it takes to stop him.
My daughter has the right to a normal life.
A Moment of Truth movie, Stalking Back, NBC tonight.
And we have this health word for women tonight. Women who are overweight and carry much of their body fat in the stomach area are more likely to be stressed out as well. Scientists at Yale University say that paunchy women, and those are their words, not mine, can blame in part the stress-produced hormone cortisol for the extra waistline baggage. Less cortisol tends to yield less fat on the hips and thighs. And paunchy women face a greater risk of heart disease and also diabetes.
One way kids can burn off all those cookies they eat is by roughhousing with each other at home or in the schoolyard. But what about parents? Should they ever take part in that boisterous fun? Dr. Georgia Whitkin is here now with some useful advice. Hi, Georgia.
Hi, how you both doing?
Good, thanks.
Good. Okay, let's talk about roughhousing. This is something that's been around between parents and children forever. But now some are questioning whether or not this play fighting is a good idea.
Go!
Fathers have always done it. Now, mothers do it too. Girls kind of like it.
Do you like it, playing rough?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Boys love it.
He was carrying me up.
So it didn't bother you that you got hurt?
No.
Well, you didn't get hurt. Did you get hurt?
Yes.
But would you be hurt?
But that didn't bother you?
But no, but I wanted my father to do it again.
And everyone seems to know when enough is enough.
When do you call time?
When they cry.
When they scream.
But as we become more aware of the problems of family violence and child abuse, parents aren't throwing their children quite as high as they used to.
I inadvertently and accidentally, obviously, pulled his elbow out of socket, popped it out of socket, and felt awful about it. But, you know, the things you feel when you take the kid, for example, to the hospital now, in the era of abuse and child abuse and so forth, you get a lot of funny looks.
Nothing too extreme, like heavy tickling, and, but nothing, you know, where you see people throwing their kids up. I won't do it. I'm just too nervous about it.
Should we stop? Experts say no. They say some roughhousing is actually good for a child, and parents agree.
What does it teach them?
It teaches them that life isn't all a bed of roses, and that to take a few knocks, and that you don't have to worry when you fall over and bump yourself.
Well, it teaches Sarah how to be rough, but in a nice way, you know?
I think I'd say that it helps my son adapt to what he's going to face on the playground.
How about for girls?
How to defend themselves against boys.
Now, experts agree with the parents you just heard, and they add that roughhousing also gives children a chance to use those developing muscles to discharge that enormous amount of physical energy they seem to have, and to get some physical contact with their parents that they crave. But here are some tips, 3 rules to remember when you roughhouse. First of all, don't roughhouse when your child is angry. That's when we have to help them learn verbal, not physical expression. And second, don't keep roughhousing till your child cries. The point is to build their self-confidence, not to lower it. And remember, this is an exercise in trust. You're the grown-up, protect their safety and protect their self-esteem. Grown-up always wins. We have to remember that. You don't have to prove it to the child.
My little girl, when my husband roughhouses with her, will keep going, more daddy, more daddy. She just loves it.
So the responsibility is on him to know when to stop.
Exactly.
Do you stop them, or do they stop themselves?
They stop themselves, although I sometimes worry.
Usually when Mike cries. Is that what
That's right.
Exactly.
We'll do parent abuse at some other point.
All right,
Thanks,
Doctor.
Georgia.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Coming up on Live at 5, ice skating returns to New York despite the warm weather.
But one city is already getting socked with snow. We'll take you there. But first, here's Len with a preview of sports.
Well, Matt, coming up, we'll have the catches and near catches of the football weekend. And this man, roughhousing, will pitch in the World Series tomorrow night. But what does his wife think of this? Next in sports.
State Quality Ford dealer and see for yourself.
Around here, when we say fall, we're usually referring to leaves dropping from our trees, creating all those beautiful autumnal scenes. In Denver, even in October, it's often snow that's falling. The Colorado capital got 7 inches of the white stuff over the weekend, another 2 inches today, for a total of 9 inches. Not even Halloween yet. Thanks, but no thanks. No snow here, but we do have some ice, and Al Roker is out at the Rockefeller Rink to show it to us. Hi, Al.
Hey, guys, how you doing? I've been watching Sarah Hughes out here. She has been doing one heck of a job. She is one of the world championship ice skater, and she's about to do a really neat little spin. Let's take a look. Oh, man, look at that. Woo! 4, 5. All right, Sarah. Bang! Sarah Hughes, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to be out here at a big ice skating show at 7 o'clock. JoJo Starbuck, the kids from Annie Warbucks. It's just going to be really neat. Come on down. Having a great time. They did open the Rockefeller Center ice skating rink today. And coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, I'm going to be riding, not the Zamboni. We have the new and improved Olympia. Ooh, it's turbocharged. Let's take a look, show you what's going on outside. Our forecast for you. Travel weather, well, going to be a lot of heavy thunderstorms from the Gulf Coast all the way up into the Ohio Valley. Clouds move into the northeast, lots of sunshine out west. After a mild night tonight, our 5-day forecast, thickening clouds tomorrow, a high of 62. Rain on Wednesday and 60. Showers end Thursday, a high of 64. Friday, look for partly sunny skies and 63. And heading on into the weekend, partly sunny skies and a temperature of 62 degrees. Now, earlier we asked you on Al's tidbit about Chuck Berry. You know, today's his birthday. How old is Mr. Chuck Berry? Is he 63, 67, or 69? The answer, 67 years old. Chuck Berry, 67 today.
Thank you very much.
And I believe Mr. Matt Lauer had the correct answer.
You know,
go ahead.
I think he cheated somehow, Al. He must have been reading over your shoulder earlier.
Well, of course he cheated, Jane.
It's just a question of how, right?
Yeah, please. We knew that.
How did you know that, Al? Is this just something you've gleaned from your years of musical expertise, or is this a little book you've got?
It's a little book, actually, our executive producer, Dan Foreman, has.
Oh.
Well, we're going to be doing this every day, giving you a little tidbit about different bits of trivia.
Oh, I thought you meant we'd be doing the Chuck Berry question over and over again.
Over and over again. Get it right. There you go, until Jane finally gets it. And we'll be doing that every day in the regular weather and then the second weathercast on Live at 5.
All right, Al.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks a lot.
See you shortly.
Hey, I'm becoming a believer here about these giants. No more doubts for me.
Should I do my tidbit first?
Yeah, sure. What is it?
Okay, how old is Jane Hanson? And we'll have the answer.
Well, let me move away here for a second.
Well, how about those Giants in first place? Do fans dare dream of another Super Bowl? There are a couple of games left against Dallas before that happens, maybe even 3. And it helps to be just a little bit lucky. A couple of old friends, Ken O'Brien at quarterback for Philadelphia yesterday, throwing the former Giant, Mark Bavaro. Look at this. Just out of bounds. It did not count. So, what a play. A suit was filed in Los Angeles today against Vince Coleman for throwing the explosive device outside Dodger Stadium. The lawsuit filed by the family of the 2-year-old girl, Amanda Santos, who was injured in the incident. No dollar amount is specified in the suit. Eric Davis, then of the Dodgers, also named in the suit. The Mets said Coleman will never play for the Mets again. Game 3 of the World Series tomorrow night in Philadelphia. It's now even a game apiece after the Phillies won last night in Toronto. The pitcher tomorrow night for Philadelphia, none other than Danny Jackson. In addition to being a terrific pitcher, he's the guy who did the Hulk Hogan impersonations after the Phillies clinched both the division and the pennant. He said his wife is not too thrilled with this.
Wasn't very happy about that, but no, my wife says she's going to use it for my kids. She's going to get a normal picture of me. This is your dad. I'm going to use that picture, and this is your dad after drugs. Don't use drugs.
It's a little educational experience in sports, which never hurts. The answer to the... No, we'll wait till tomorrow.
Don't you dare.
Is he going to be all right in time to pitch tomorrow night? I mean, he got all worked up over this thing.
I think he'll be just fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, good. Len, thanks very much. See you later.
Well, coming up, he signed until his hand cramped up.
Howard Stern's final New York book signing appearance, and we've got it straight ahead.
Long Island. From business support programs and high-tech research to government assistance and utility rate incentives, Long Island is helping its companies get what they need to succeed in today's marketplace. Last year, hundreds of companies took advantage of the island's economic development programs to keep their businesses going strong. Give us a call to find out how we can help your business.
Long Island, long on innovation.
Introducing the Chrysler LHS lease. It gives you traction.
Coming up on News 4 New York at 6.
I'm Chuck Scarborough. He has killed in Oklahoma and New York. Oklahoma planned to execute him within hours. Mario Cuomo says, give him back to us. We'll talk to the governor about this tussle for a murderer. And who was that driving? How about convicted drunk drivers going to see their probation officers? Plus the juvenile home counselors who allegedly had sex with a client. That story only on News 4 when Carol and I see you at 6.
Quick, give him that cookie, Cyril.
It's not a cookie. It's a fat-free Newton.
Fat-free? I'm sure we can wait him out.
A cookie is just a cookie, but Newtons are fruit and cake.
Excuse me.
Do you make these delicious fat-free Snackwell Devil's Food cookies?
Why, yes, I do.
You want to tell us why we can't find them in the stores anymore?
Well, what is this?
You got some explaining to do, Cookie Man.
Devil's Food cookies are on the way. Meanwhile, keep enjoying the other Snackwells.
It comes specially equipped with dual airbags.
Let's go downstairs now where Tom Brokaw joins us with a look at what's ahead on NBC Nightly News at 6:30. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Jane. Coming up tonight on NBC Nightly News, sleep disorders, serious medical problems that could put you at risk. A good night's sleep, just like diet and exercise, is an important part of healthy life. What can you do if you're having trouble sleeping? Well, we'll have a special health watch here at Channel 4 tonight at 6:30. Jane and Matt, knowing those early morning hours that you keep, I know that that's not a problem for you at all. I'm sure you'll all go home tonight. A little warm milk at about 8:30 and then right into the nappy.
Couple of cookies and there we go. That's right.
What a glamorous life we lead. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. Well, America's newest literary giant lugged his mighty pen to Wall Street today, and where Howard Stern goes, fanatics are sure to follow. News 4's Carlos Granda survived to tell us about it.
Lower Manhattan has seen frenzied crowds before, usually on the trading floor, barking orders to buy or sell. But this wasn't your usual Wall Street crowd. In the tradition of Wall Street, radio personality Howard Stern was here to sell something, and the crowd wanted to buy. It's his book, Private Parts. At today's book signing, police figure 5,000 people packed the sidewalks. Karen Lohman drove in from Baltimore. She brought her kids.
Because he's honest, and I just love him to death.
She loves Howard Stern more than she loves her kids.
No, I don't.
Really? At a book signing last week, the crowd mobbed Stern. This time, there were lots of barricades and police.
I think it's a great crowd. This is good. We get a lot of books signed. Anybody who didn't get it, you know, the other time, we'll get it all signed. This time we got a little more organized, you know what I mean?
And by his side, as usual, sidekick Robin Quivers, sporting her new hair extensions in public for the first time. The normally conservative Wall Street crowd couldn't help get caught up in the frenzy. There were a few pinstripe suits here. Kerry Klaben is a financial analyst who took a little longer on his lunch hour to get his book signed.
I think the thing that appeals me the most to Howard is that he says what's on his mind, what everybody else is afraid of saying. He just lets it out. He doesn't care what people think.
And then there was Chris Moriarty from Brooklyn. He got here yesterday afternoon to get both of his books signed.
Because he's the king of all media. He's Howard Stern. He's the king. And now he's not only conquered radio and television, but he's a scholar.
And there are few scholars who get crowds like this at $23 a book. And now the book signing goes on tour. Howard Stern will be in Philadelphia this weekend. Carlos Granda, News 4, Lower Manhattan.
And that is it for us. The news continues now on News 4 at 6.
You're watching WNBC for New York. And now, Chuck Scarborough, Carol Jenkins, Al Roker, and Len Berman. This is News for New York at 6.